Hey guys, I'm the Sky Spire, and welcome back to another Mother 4 update. So today is actually the 5th of October, when as this update right here that we're about to talk about today came out on October 1st. It was supposed to come out, I think, on the 30th, but hey, one day late again, I do not care. It's one day. I'm the one who's like 4 days late. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about update number 8, which has actually a surprisingly small amount of information, so this is going to be a short update, but nonetheless it is one. So if I can get this out of here, we have update number 8, Joy of Construction. Evening folks, we're trying something new, so bear with us. Today we're working on a hotel, or is it a motel? Hotel or motel aside, it's a place you can sleep and talk to people. Here's an example of what backgrounds are made of. Some tile sets are fairly simple when compared to their assembled forms. And by that, like you can see, the individual window, door, this rug, I believe, and vines, which we can see here. Or it will be. It is a work in progress, as you can see, and it is one of our unique set pieces. It's not quite ready to be shown taking or entertaining guests, but this is what we're up to tonight. And we can see what this finished hotel/motel thing looks like. Now the interesting thing about this is when we think about actually, let's get through the entire update first, because this is actually pretty much it. In general, we've got a big selection of multi-purpose assets prepared for overworld stuff and even dungeons, but there's a bunch of unique things like this to do. Updating Travis's house exterior is one of those things. Hopefully seeing things being made is interesting, and we'll see you on our next update. That's it? Well, no, we'll see you next week on Wednesday, which, this came out here, so I think it might be the 7th or the 14th, not sure. We'll see you on next week on Wednesday to show you how this all looks when it's finished and running. Also, Dave got this running in the same way finally. Check it out. We see it on the Apple version of Mother 4. It's been a good night. Check out the header. Now, what we're going to be doing is talking about this. So now that I've basically literally just read through the entire thing, let's actually take a deeper look at this, because yes, this is by far the shortest update we've ever gotten, but we are going to see it. Like, they even know it. So we're going to get more. But so we do have a couple of things here. We have 1, this, and 2, we have ATM, sitting bench, and apparently, and what I'm guessing is where the person who's like, would you like to rent a room? But there is no upstairs or downstairs and no bed, meaning that this might be that room. As you can see, a counter over there, you can see a counter over here, so there's presumably a window in here. This is a very square-like room after all. And then these are the actual rooms. However, if we're going to take a look back very, very far back, which one was it? Was it, I wasn't sure which one it is. Oh, okay, I think it's the first update, actually. Let's take a look at this real quick. Yes, this one. Here, I mean, it's pretty obvious what this thing is. You know, they never outright said it's a hotel, but it's pretty obvious, as it fits in with the theme of hotels throughout the entire series. You go in from here, from the right side. Would you like to stay in a room? Okay. On this door over here is an ATM machine where you can do that, and I mean, look at that. It's all here. And then you have your rooms where you sleep, and then you come down from here and go out. That is pretty much how it's always been, and this has been a hotel. Now, if we're going to go back to what update number 8 over here says, where is it a hotel or is it a motel, and we have this could honestly just be what I'd like to think as a different, it has the same general function as a hotel, but the world is like, it's a fairly big world, you know? It has like a pretty good amount of places, and because of that, I feel like it wouldn't be too far-fetched to also have like the hotels be different. They have done this before in Earthbound, where, like, say for example Dungeon Man, where like that wasn't a full-fledged hotel, but you could sleep there and you could buy stuff from various places in the game as well. So I mean, it's not too far-fetched, honestly, once you think about it, to think that this would also be a function the same way as a hotel. Back to what they said, hotel or motel aside is a place you can sleep and talk to people. That wording could be used with that. Hotel or motel aside, you know, I mean, we're not going to bother with what we call it. It could still have the same basic function, which is what it does. Now, the fact that there are all these vines over here, all this, I think the fact that there's nothing around it, there will be stuff around it, it's just there's nothing around it right now. But I think that's just because, you know, I mean, they just wanted to put that down there just to show what it looks like. When it's all put together, it'll look something like this. And, plus, I mean, I mean, I think this is. I feel. Is this bell ring? That might be bell ring. But this is just planted here, and as for what it could be, I mean, honestly, we haven't really seen like each place in detail. Echo Gulch sounds really cool. Union City, Penny Burglar, full. Anyway, so it could be any one of those. But it's definitely going to not. I mean, I feel like the first town that you're in, or rather the first hotel you visit, is going to be a full-fledged hotel. But I feel like this right here, this motel right here, is actually going to be like a form of like hotel as well. I feel like it's going to have the same basic function. You can sleep and talk to people. I mean, this is just every individual thing. Are these stairs? I think they might be, but I don't see them anywhere. Hold on, what are these things? I don't know. There's also a second floor. I did notice that, but there's no stairs here. Which, okay, that's. I mean, hey, who says it needs to do that? I mean, I've seen buildings like which are like look like they're 5 stories high and only has one floor. So, has stuff like that. Look at that. They have the ATM as well. It really is like a more. Not rundown, that's not the right word, but more toned down. I feel like, yeah, that might be a better word for it. Toned down kind of incarnation of a hotel that feels like more to one of those things. Now, we've got a big selection of multi-purpose assets prepared for world stuff and even dungeons, but there's a bunch of unique things like this to do. Updating Travis's house exterior is one of those things. Did we see Travis's house exterior? I'm not sure. Okay, is this his mom? No, young woman. Okay, so let's go over to when they talked about Travis and his family. Okay, so it's this one. Okay, yeah, I can see them redesigning that. I mean, if that's the final version, which it's not going to be, fine, but I can see them redesigning that, because, like, typically it hasn't been, like, big, tall, block-like houses. It's always been kind of, like, fairly rectangular, narrow house. You know, it's typically been like that, and not just like necessarily for the protagonist, like what kind of house they live in, but just the view of the game, because it does have like this isometric, like sort of top-down diagonal view, which would make it really nice looking with this thin diagonal house design and really building design and road design and just overall design in general. So yeah, now they take a deeper look at this. Yeah, gosh, this room and how it's like all cottony and all that. Alright, but yeah, so I think that's, I mean, I know this, like, it might seem like a very short update, but honestly, I mean, hey, they said it themselves. It's short. I mean, if nothing else to say. See you next week Wednesday, and I'm really bad at this stuff, so I don't know what next week Wednesday means. If this update came out here, and right after Wednesday, this next week Wednesday means the 7th or the 14th. Not quite sure. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much the main thing we want to talk about today. Next time, we're going to show you how this all looks when it's finished and running. Now, this is interesting. We'll see you next week on Wednesday, basically saying there is going to be an update to show you how this all looks when it's finished and running. Does that mean that this update number 9 is going to be along the same lines as this one? Is it going to be also about this whole hotel motel thing, or rather a more believable idea, just the design of these buildings in general? I feel like it might be something like that. Anyway, guys, so that's about it. If you're hyped for Mother 4, then just know that so am I. This has been a really small update, but it really is not the fact that this is a small update that's like, oh, well, whatever, you just killed it. It really is the fact that they're like stacking it up more and more and more. And honestly, I'm not too big of a fan of like adding stuff to games. If there's a game, cool, I'll get it. I'm not too big of a fan of like early alphas or betas of a game. Not a gigantic fan of downloadable content, because it's like, look, the game's already there. Do you really need to? Rabbit Luigi actually talked about it pretty well in his recent video. But anyway, but with Mother 4, it does have a very different following and a different legacy, which makes this kind of thing more, you know, more hype. We're more hyped about it, you know? Anyway, guys, so thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about this update in the comment section below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more on Mother 4 and all those things Nintendo. I'm the Sky Spire, and until then.